Did you just get an RV or are thinking about getting one? We've got some things that you'll need to know.
And if anybody knows it all, it's him.
Did you just call me a know-it-all?
Don't go away. Hi, I'm Lynn.
And I'm Danny, and welcome to RV America.
Take a quick minute, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. Give us a thumbs up if you like our videos, and don't forget to ding that notification bell so you don't miss anything.
That's right. Now, we've got 9 things that every RV newbie needs to know.
And if you stick around to the very end, I've got a bonus for you you're not going to want to miss.
You've got a bonus?
I've got a bonus.
Then I've got a bonus too, so stay tuned.
Number 1, checklists are crucial.
That's right. You've got a new RV, and you need to know what goes in it, how to set it up, how to tear it down. And there's many checklists out there on the internet. In fact, if you want one, we've got a video that mentions the better checklist. We'll link that up above and down below. And if you'll email us, we'll send you that checklist.
Checklists are crucial to keep you on track.
That's right.
Number 2, what is essential?
Yeah, there are some essential things that you'll need. In fact, we've got a video on that also. We'll link that up above and down in the description. And it will help you determine some basic things you might need for sewer, for electric, for water. Just the basics. And those should get you started.
However, don't get carried away with stocking everything. Take a couple of trips with just the minimal amount of things that you need. Sheets, blankets, towels, a few things to cook with. And also take a pad of paper with you and an ink pen and make a list of things. If you keep that ongoing list every time you go out, your camper will be stocked with things that you use, not just stocked.
And speaking of that, if there's some things on your list that you see you're not using, take those out. Save that room.
That's right. You need to clean underneath the camper.
Oh man, I wish I wouldn't have mentioned that.
Number 3, tires.
This is a big thing. You need to take care of your tires. As a newbie, there's nothing more important to safety as taking care of those tires. Make sure you have a way to check your air pressure and to be able to get the right amount of air in those tires. You should check them before each and every trip and as you go along through your trip. And also, something I didn't know when I first started, RV tires will age out before they wear out. Your tires might look great, but did you know that the tires, the average manufacturer says it only lasts 5 years? I'll put on the screen where the date is, or you can find your date. You'll be able to tell how old your tires are.
And replace them. That's not worth taking the chance.
That's right.
A blowout, a rollover, a flip.
That can be dangerous.
Number 4, avoid mistakes and accidents. There's an old saying I've heard all my life. Learn from others' mistakes. You'll never live long enough to make them all on your own.
We've got a great video that you should watch. It's called Mistakes RVers Makes. We took a survey and got some feedback from a lot of people on the mistakes they made. You need to watch that video and learn from it because you want to learn from mistakes versus making your own mistakes.
Yes, and there's a lot of mistakes to be made when you're RVing, and that is like true that,
right.
You know. Danny, can you tell us a little bit about your mistake on our last camping trip? When you accidentally filled the black water tank?
Yep, broke a couple of my own rules, arrived at dark, and didn't use the checklist. So, out there in the middle of the dark with no light, almost made it rain from the top of the thing, if you know what I'm talking about, from the sewage. So that wouldn't have been pretty.
Yeah. And that's even mentioned in our mistake video. Somebody else did it. But you break the rules, you pay the price.
Yeah, and we caught it in time, so we didn't have a major deal. So the great thing is that something didn't run right when we stopped it right there. So.
But learn from others' mistakes.
Yes, please do.
Number 5, know your height and your length.
Knowing your measurements is so important. You've got to know those. You got to maybe even take a Post-it and put it near your dashboard or near your window so you know how high your vehicle is or your rig is and how long it is.
There are a lot of low bridges in our country, covered type places where they've got older bridges, not new ones. And let's just be honest, folks, these rigs are not going to fit in through there.
Yeah, that would be a dangerous accident if you went through a low bridge with a high vehicle. And also, know the length of your rig, and if you got a tow vehicle, how long your total length is, because there's a lot of state parks and national parks that you just cannot go through with a long vehicle.
They have rules, and they will measure you when you come in or ask you your length to make sure that you're the right length to go through the park.
Yeah, because some of the older parks just weren't made for larger rigs.
Number 6, plan your route.
It's very important to plan your route. That way you can spot those low bridges or those hairpin turns. There's several great apps out there. Just Google them. You'll find plenty of them. One of them we mentioned in previous videos is Truck Map. It's free. It puts the height of your rig and the length of your rig and keeps you out of trouble.
Also, if you plan your route, you can plan your gas stops, especially if you're a large rig. You'll know in advance where the gas stations are at that will accommodate what you're driving.
Good point.
Number 7, be weather aware. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like tornadoes. And I don't want to be in the middle of a big storm driving my rig down the road. And I do drive it. Also, I'm not going to be in Florida or the Panhandle or anywhere else when there's a hurricane coming, or over on the West Coast when there are all these wildfires that I've got to run from.
Have an app that you can check on and determine if there's any storms coming your way and if you need to hunker down or get away from them.
There was some time during the last couple of weeks that a tornado actually hit an RV park in Texas. It was not a good thing. Luckily, no one was injured, but a lot of RVs were destroyed.
And also another point is know what time of season it is. End of summer, early fall is hurricane season. So you might want to say, I need to really be aware of hurricanes if I'm in that part of the U.S. Early spring or late summer, it's tornado time. So if you're in Tornado Alley, be aware. And as Lynn mentioned, know where those wildfires are. And if you're traveling through some of the flatter plain states and the wind's blowing at 35 miles per hour, be aware of wind advisories.
Number 8, backing up.
Yeah. One of the most nerve-wracking things for any new RVer, especially someone that wasn't raised backing things up, is trying to park that RV to back it up into the site. So what we suggest is get out and practice. Not only practice backing up, but practice communicating with the person that's helping you back it up. Whether they're using a phone or walkie-talkies or just hand signals. Practice backing up and using those communication skills.
Also, don't let someone come along from inside the campground and start telling you how to back your rig up. Be polite, know in advance what you're going to say, but stick with your partner who you know how to communicate with.
That's a good point.
Number 9, last but definitely not least, know your tanks.
That's right. As a new RV owner, you've got to know the size of your gray tank, your black tank, your freshwater tank. Because if you know those things, it'll tell you how long you can stay out or when you need to dump. Because you cannot always count on those gauges.
That's right. Proven fact. Now, for my bonus, document your memories. Get you some kind of little notebook. Take the time in the evening to sit down and write about your time out in the wilderness or your day or whatever you did, so that later years when you're no longer RVing, you can go back and read about it and put a smile on your face later.
That's right. And it can tell you a lot about where you stayed and what you thought about it, so you can always go back and look at those kind of things. Or if you missed something, you jotted a note the last time you're there, hey, I want to go see this, then these memories can sure help you. So I had to come up with a bonus pretty quick since she had a bonus. I didn't want her to outdo me. Right, guys? So I want to tell you about the rule of 3. All new RVers need to know this. Number 1, you should never travel more than 300 miles in a day. Now, I know if you're on vacation, you might push that and stretch that. But if you're out and you've got the time, travel no more than 300 miles a day. Because if you think about it, that's about a 6-hour day. And if you do a lot of those, it'll make you tired. Which leads to the second point. Never travel that hard more than 3 days in a row. So you don't want to travel 600, 600, and 600 3 days in a row because you're going to be pretty tired when you do that. And the last 3 is try to arrive at your campsite by 3 o'clock. That way you have plenty of daylight. You're able to see things and able to get things hooked up and not make the mistakes that others have made and that I almost made on our last trip.
So, all the videos we've talked about will be linked below.
That's right.
Hope this helps you in your journey as a new or as a seasoned RVer. Take a quick minute, hit the subscribe button.
And hit that notification bell because we've got some videos coming out about tips and tricks and trips that you're not going to miss.
Give us a thumbs up if you like our videos and feel free to share them with friends.
That's right.
Until next time, God bless and many safe travels.
And go RV, America.